What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a review for you. Let's get into it. All right, we're going to be taking a look at a very unique version of a very cool knife from Vosteed. That is going to be the Vosteed Corgi. All right, what we're going to do today is we're going to do some size comparison, profile, weight, and then we'll jump into thoughts and impressions. We'll kick it off with a couple of budget knife comparisons. Here it is against the Miguron Royale, more of a medium-sized carry, and then here it is against the Civivi Amorite. As you can see, the Corgi is more of a small EDC, and we're going to bring out another small EDC to compare it to, and that is going to be the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight. Very comparable to the Lightweight here. You can see it is very similar in length. Profile's pretty similar too. We'll bring out the Spyderco Shaman. These will also represent your Rat 1, Rat 2, and your Shaman, your PM2. It's very comparable as far as size. So hopefully that helps everyone out there from that perspective. Let's check out the profile real quick. I'm very curious to see how this will stack up. You got full steel liners on a button lock with G10 on it, but the scales are pretty thin on here, so I am curious to see how it stacks up against that Para 3 Lightweight. So very comparable as far as that profile is concerned. The Royale is a little bit more of a thicker knife, so let's just do that as well. And as you can see there, the Royale is a little bit thicker overall. How is this going to carry in pocket compared to these two? It is a fold-over carry, deep carry pocket clip, but for some reason they didn't mount it in a deep carry position. So that is very interesting. So lining up the pocket clips on how these are going to carry, it's going to be very comparable to the Royale as far as how far into the pocket, and kind of similar for how much is going to be left out due to the fact that clip is mounted a little bit lower. Let's check the weight on this. This is also something I'm very curious about because it does feel like it does have some weight to it with these full steel liners, guys. So yeah, coming in at over 3.5 ounces. For a comparison, here it is against the Royale, which is 4 ounces, 3.9 ounces just in. So 0.4 ounce difference there. And then again, where did I say this was? 3.5. Here it is against the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight with applied weapon tech scale. So coming in a full ounce heavier than the Lightweight Para 3. All right, let me go ahead and kick it down to the garage. Let's do some cut tests with this one, and then we'll come right back up for thoughts and impressions. All right, guys, down in the garage with the Vosteed Corgi, this one being the Crispy Donut Community exclusive. Very first time handling this, very neutral ergos as I go to grip this to do some cutting. This is a factory fresh edge with the exception of one box I did open the other day with this one because it was handy. But really interested to check this one out. Vosteed usually does a really good job, and this is their 14C28N. So let's just demonstrate what that factory edge is looking like. Yeah, very good geometry, very simple passes through the paper, good bite there. So I'm going to start it off with some denim real quick. I did just freshly roll this. It looks like from the last cut there's a little bit of wood down here on the table. This has a good drop point, so it should do good with this type of task, but let's go ahead and check it out. I'm going to try to put that wrap down and make sure that I'm on screen so you guys can see this. But yeah, nice bite, going clean through that denim. A little bit of effort, not a whole lot of pressure is needed. The geometry again and the bite on the factory edge are really good, so it's making it very easy to make these passes. I'm not having to, again, force it a lot. I am getting to the point where it's out of wrap, but really impressive here with the little bit of belly that you have out there on the tip going all the way through that denim. Now, let's just check it out really quick against the old zip tie here. I'm going back to the little thin red ones here just because I want to try to do it with the tip and be as precise as possible. So just really quick, yeah, so really good bite, nice edge from Vosteed here from the factory. Getting into the zip tie, being able to bite that down pretty good. And last but not least, everybody's favorite, we're going to do some passes through the cardboard here, and all of this is happening very comfortable. This would be definitely something that would be really easy to recommend for a daily carry. 14C is not an edge retention monster. It is a very tough steel, takes a very hair-popping edge, which is one of the reasons that I think that this blade steel is so popular, because you can get a really sharp edge on there, which is nice. And then we're just going to use the tape part for the draw cuts. Yeah, look at that. Really acute point, guys. Really acute. I'm not having to put any effort into this at all. We'll just finish off a couple little slices here. Yep. And then let's just have a look-see again. Not a ton of cutting. This is more about me kind of collecting my thoughts on how this is. It's very comfortable. All 4 fingers, man, are fitting on here. But again, not an edge retention test. Just want to see what happens with that little bit of cutting that I'm doing. I am feeling a little bit right there. I don't know if that's from the denim or whatnot, affecting the hair poppingness of the factory edge. But as you can see, you know, it's going through there just fine. And actually could have been something off of the cardboard, because it's actually feeling better as I cut with it more. So I'm really happy with this one. It is a very interesting one. I wasn't sure how it was going to do down here, and truth be told, I'm quite impressed. All right, as you can see, guys, this really, really impressed me, guys and gals, apologies. Really, really impressed me on the table. Okay, first, it is super ergonomic, right? It is just a pill-shaped handle here, very comfortable in hand. Due to the length, I'm able to get all 4 fingers on there. Unlike the Feist, though, this is very secure in hand. The G10 feels fairly grippy. The actual sprinkle holes here add to that too. And the way that it's contoured and the way that they did the G10 on the edges, I'm able to get plenty of grip on here. And it is a little bit more substantial with the steel liners versus the nested liners, or the full steel liners versus the nested liners that you find in the Feist. This I'm able to get a really good grip on, and it feels solid. So everything about it feels very, very secure. I will say, I did notice the pocket clip. It does leave a little bit of an imprint here on the hand, as you can see. So that sticks out. And I think if they could have, or if they will start using the top fastener for the hardware as the top screw hole for that pocket clip and move everything up, I think it would be so much more comfortable if that was hanging off of the back. Like even right there, I'm not even kidding, I'm not noticing the pocket clip, versus where now it's in the meat of my hand, it's in the palm of my hand, and it's actually just kind of pinching, leaving a mark. And you know, it actually takes away from what would be very neutral, comfortable ergos. I do appreciate the kick plate there, but if the kick plate means that they can't move it up here, then get rid of the kick plate and just have that exposed. You know, in this instance, it would just be a really big sprinkle. The button on here does protrude, but I did not notice that I touched it left-handed or right-handed. So when I'm on it left-handed, I'm touching it, but it's not affecting the knife. It's not starting to disengage the lock. So no issues for me there whatsoever. When I went into the pinch grip, this is a really good pincher. I'm able to get all the way out 3/4 of the length of the blade, so really up onto the tip to be able to control it for those draw cuts, utility cuts. Really good. I was surprised. This doesn't seem like it has a lot of belly, but it's such a thin blade stock and it's so slicey. It went straight through that denim. You know, it had handled the cardboard really well. The zip ties, I was, again, with that pinch grip, able to get out onto that tip and use the power from the index finger to push through on the zip tie. It really surprised me down there at the cut test. I did not think it was going to do this well. Now, it is heavy at 3.5 ounces, guys, but they did do some relief cuts here to try to reduce the weight a little bit for you. But I think I'd rather have that extra weight because, again, it does make it feel solid. There is a little hint of back side to side, and I think that has to do with the stamped bearings in here, and just a little bit, and it could need a little bit more break-in, but a little bit up and down when I really wrench on it. When I'm just checking it, moderately, there's no side to side, no up and down whatsoever. So I do appreciate that. I also really like the fact that they went ahead and did a little bit of jimping or knurling or whatever you want to call it on that button, so it doesn't make it really easy to grip. The action on here is really good, and I messed with the pivot a little bit because it was loose, and it was getting to the point where I was tightening it and the play was still there and it wasn't dropping shut, so I didn't want to keep going. We'll check all that in the disassembly, which will be coming up after the review. But I like this a lot. It's very unique. I actually am very surprised how much I like this. Now, I think they could have probably gotten rid of the bolster maybe and just had the G10. Maybe that saves a little bit of weight. But I do kind of like the aesthetic of how they did this bolster to match the shape of the actual scales themselves. I really wish they would have pushed that pocket clip back. The G10 backspacer here in this particular variant, this is the Crispy Donut Community variant. If I didn't mention that earlier, I don't think that I did. I really think that's kind of cool how they did that. I opted for the black instead of the satin. I just think aesthetically the black wash just looked a little bit better in my opinion. They did black wash the blade here. It's a very light washing here. I think they could have stoned this one a little bit longer. You can see where I've cut with it and whatnot. I have not had the opportunity to do the spine whack test here. We'll go ahead and do that on camera. Let me just reset it and make sure if you watch my channel you understand why I do it that way. All right, so locked up solid. We're only going to do the 3 because I don't want to damage my knife. All right, a little bit further out on that test, on that one. All right, last one. We're going to go back to the middle. All right, so past 3, no questions. So we know that it is a solid lock. You don't have to worry about it failing if you accidentally whack the spine of this particular one. Now, the one thing that is interesting on here, you have that 14C28N, which is really well done. It's a nice slicer. If you didn't get the Crispy Donut Community variant, I would say this would definitely be a gentlemanly carry. Like you could pull this out. It's very unassuming. It's not aggressive. It's not tactical in any way, shape, or form. But again, 14C28N, G10 steel liners, button lock, reversible deep carry pocket clip, all for $60. I think that is phenomenal value, guys. I really do like the build on this one. It just surprised me how much I actually have enjoyed this one. They also do offer the micarta on the full steel liners, which I think is going to feel a little bit more solid than the Kaiser Feiss will. And they currently, at the time of recording this, have the satin Crispy Donut Community up here as well, it looks like. I'm just looking at a couple of the variants, so they got a ton of colors and color combinations. They also have a pup, which is an even smaller version, and that one would probably be really good for fifth pocket carry as well. But the full-size ones, oh, I'm sorry, the pup was the only one that they had in the Crispy Donut Community version. It doesn't look like they have the other ones on their website, and maybe that's because it's specific to Crispy Donut Community, so maybe you need to check their website. But it also looks like they're going to have a sheep's foot blade instead of the spear point blade coming. I personally have really enjoyed the spear point. I don't see the reason to get any other variants, but the sheep's foot could be really cool. They even offer it in copper handles, so definitely take a look at the site. The link down below is to Vosteed's website. You just need to use that link to head on over there and check them out. The pups are really cool too. If you want something that's fifth pocket or they'll go into the pouch. It looks like it would be more of a 3-finger knife instead of a 4-finger knife. But again, for companion carry, fifth pocket carry, that's going to be something that works really well. The jimping on here, nice tight jimping. So that works really well for the front flip and the regular flipper. It fires out, guys. The button is grabby, but no lock stick to it. It just has a little grab to it. Nothing special on the opening, but the closing, I like that ting. cool little sounds. Very fidgety. Lanyard hole, if you're interested in that. I'll do the disassembly immediately after this one, but again, I'm, for the money, it's a good buy, but it really did surprise me how much I liked this. It reminded me of the Feist, which I did enjoy the Feist while I had it, but the Feist isn't one that I would go out there and be like, ooh, I gotta have this one. This really, like, if you just want something simple, if you like a banter, if you like an Elementum, there's no banter button lock. There's an Elementum button lock, but you may not like the flipper tab on that. So this could be something a little bit different. It gives you dual means of deployment. It is very interesting, and again, I am very surprised how much I like it. My big problem with this one is it's minor, but I don't like that pocket clip. I think that pocket clip looks so out of place being so long. Just shift it up and use that last piece of hardware on that side and make the one that you want to be flat like that just able to be flipped, I guess. And the kick plate would look something like that. I don't know. I just don't like that pocket clip. And again, it's not a major issue with the knife. Everything knife related to the knife is very nice. And again, just really surprised how much I actually like this one. But what do you think about the Corgi? Do you have one? Are you interested in one? At this price point, use that link to go down there if you want a pup. Maybe you want to check out a small one for a fifth pocket or to throw into a pouch. Or you wanted to check out the sheep's foot variant of this one that I'm seeing on their website. Those links help the channel. Watching to this point helps the channel. And if you're not subscribed and you enjoyed the video, head down there to leave a like. That helps. Make sure that you are subscribed with that notification turned on so you don't miss future videos. Special thank you to the channel members. That extra membership that you guys do to support is really appreciated. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.